Please ensure your tray table is in the upright position so you can prepare to be in a horizontal position. Hello and welcome to Intoxicated Masculinity. If it's Wednesday, we've got a cocktail video. Last week we did the most popular gin cocktail, arguably. And this one we're going to do one that's very popular, although definitely not on level with the martini, and it is the Aviation. The Aviation, Dave Wondrich, who's a good place to start on this, his book, Imbibe, is a good place to start. He'll talk about some of the history. Apparently it's thought by a lot of people that it was invented in London because it was included in Harry Craddock's Savoy Hotel cocktail book, but as happens in things like these, everybody borrows from somebody else, and this cocktail was actually invented in New York, I think sometime between 1911 and 1916, and it is just a fun, light, sort of springy cocktail. Not exactly spring outside right now, but it's I've been getting into some gin cocktails, and I think this is a good one. And you can sip on this and pretend like there's flowers blooming and not, 7 inches of snow on the ground. So now that we know a little bit about the cocktail, let's go and dive into it. Back and we magically have ingredients as always. Now, recently we've done some of these cocktails where I go ahead and do several different versions of it, because I think some of the, like last week with the martini, those are two very, very different cocktails based on the two variations. In this case, the other variations on the Aviation that I found weren't really all that different. Some of the variations show adding simple syrup, which I'm not going to do. I think that it's going to be with our maraschino liqueur. I think that's going to provide plenty of sweetness. There is Harry Craddock's recipe in the Savoy cocktail book doesn't add creme de Violette, which I think is kind of strange, and I am going to add creme de Violette. So we're just going to make the one, and this is sort of my Aviation. This is based on my research into different cocktail books, descriptions of how they would do it. And I think this is probably about a pretty standard version. I think most people would probably agree. Some people want more maraschino liqueur. If you do that, you're going to have a little bit more sweetness, but this is kind of the way I like it. So we're going to start off with our creme de Violette, and we're just going to do 1/4 of an ounce creme de Violette. Now this is going to bring some of that kind of lavendery kind of flavor, but honestly, for the most part, people are adding it for the color. Some of the recipes only actually call for a couple of dashes. Next, we're going to use our maraschino liqueur, in this case Luxardo. We're going to add 1/2 ounce. We get our fresh squeezed lemon juice, and this is going to be 3/4 of an ounce. One kind of nice thing about this is if you get your ingredients lined up, you're just going up. So we're going 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. And of course, your London dry gin of choice. In this case, I'm using my Bombay Sapphire East, which is my favorite London dry. Alright, and that's it. Both the creme de Violette and mainly the creme de Violette and the Luxardo are both very aromatic, so you really get that kind of herby lavender kind of nose. So we're going to toss it into our shaker. Give it a good shake for about 10-15 seconds. And we've got some lemon juice in this. We're definitely going to want to double strain that. Some of the recipes actually disagree on the kind of glass to use. Some call for using a martini glass. I don't really think that makes sense for this cocktail. I think a coupe is great. You can use naked Nora too if you want to. Another place the recipes diverge on is what your garnish is going to be. A lot of the recipes are calling for a lemon twist. But over at Death & Co., again, a cocktail book that we've talked about a couple times, the Cocktail Codex, they call for a candied cherry, and I think that's a pretty good idea in this cocktail. So we're just gonna... And I think I've probably said this before, but your Luxardo cherries are definitely more expensive than your sort of nuclear red, generic grocery store cherries, but they're very, very much worth it. So I always keep these around. I'm just about out, but I've already got another bottle. So. All right, so there we have the Aviation. It's just a really great mellow cocktail. Now, this time I think maybe I would probably cut back on the maraschino just a little bit. If you like a sweeter cocktail, then definitely go with this variation. If you're a little more reticent with the sweetness, maybe go for 1/4 ounce of the maraschino instead of a full 1/2 ounce. Your Creme de Violette, it doesn't take much to get that lavender flavor in there, and it's doing its job very well. It's mixing up with your citrus and your lemon juice. And the London Dry is just sort of hanging out there in the background. Definitely your side ingredients are what are really doing most of the flavoring here. Yeah, I like that a lot. Like I said, I think probably if I make this one again, I think I'll probably go for 1/4 ounce of maraschino instead of 1/2 ounce. And I think that would be better for me. But again, if you like sweet cocktails, definitely stick with this one. All right, I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a good drink. Have a good day. Please ensure your tray tables are in the upright position and your cocktails are